guys, welcome to our very first episode of We're Not Even That Funny Pod.
Where we laugh at our pain and you should too. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Gabby.
And today we have a very special topic on mental health. Since it is Mental Health Awareness Month, we do want to shine light on that topic and make it a priority that we do discuss that. Before we get into that, we're going to just check in with each other and see how our week went. Gabby Green, how did your week go?
It's a great day to be talking about this topic because the week I've had has been really got to tap into my coping skills because it has not been the best week, but you know it hasn't been the worst week.
Right.
I started working with the kids, and working with
God
kids.
bless your heart, because what? Just imagine 20.
Yeah, that's like per class too. So I gotta do like recess and lunch. Then it's like the whole school. Ooh. Anyways.
Yeah.
So doing that has been a lot, very tiring. And then after that I have aftercare. So it's like, just really doesn't stop from like 9 to 6. But yeah, I've just been coming home tired.
I know you have.
Low energy, not want to talk to nobody.
Right. And since this is like our very first podcast episode, we're having so many technical difficulties. It is stressing me out. Like yesterday, I took my laptop to Apple. They did not bring it back, and I did not take it home because it does not work. Okay, so I got my laptop when I was in college, 2015.
I was about to say, I know you can't get that laptop.
2015.
Papa.
And I have not used it since I graduated, which was 2019. So first of all, it needs to be updated. So she went and wiped my whole computer clean. It was good and everything. It just never turned back on. It never turned back on. So I had to walk out of there
empty-handed.
And now that investing into your business,
It's okay.
it's gonna be rough it's gonna be rough in the beginning, but once you get it all set and squared away and get into like a flow of things, it's gonna be smooth sailing and it's gonna pay off. But oh Lord, I was not expecting that. But she was very helpful. Shout out to Sophia
Sophie from Apple.
Yeah, she said she was gonna tune in too.
Oh, period, Sophie, period.
So Miss Sophie gave me discounts on top of discounts on top of discounts. She's trying to get me that new laptop.
You are.
She's like, "Are you a student?" I looked at her. She's like, "Are you a student?"
Wake up. We're trying to help you.
And she's like, "Okay, great." And then I give you 25% off because I feel like this was our fault that your computer never turned back on. I was like, "Great." And then she gave my trade-in value. She still took it as a trade-in. Even though it didn't turn on, she still took it as a trade-in value and gave me 25%. So like that was pretty hard.
What was the value?
You're trying to be funny.
I mean, not funny.
$65.
I know Apple. Ain't no Apple product $65. I can't even get no charger.
Nothing. AirTag. One AirTag though, I think.
That's a whole computer.
Yeah.
That you tapping on. You talking about an AirTag. Please.
So whatever. So now I gotta go and get a laptop. But that, that's fine. I need a new one anyways. But on top of that, just like obviously dealing with some mom stuff this week was really hard. Really extremely hard. Trying to like co-parent and everybody trying to play their own roles and whatnot. It's just hard to have everybody's opinions come in and people trying to step on your toes along the way, and it's like you got to remind them who you are.
Right.
Like, I'm his mother.
Right.
So just that, and like I said, there's no handbook to this mothering and this parenting stuff. So just trying to figure it out on your own. You can ask for help and advice, but this is your own experience at the same time,
Yeah.
But we'll get through it just like anything else. But like my biggest ick, I'm sorry, this is kind of off topic, but my biggest ick is I hate driving. Like, people cannot drive. What is that about?
It's definitely gotten worse.
Yeah, people are going 65 in the carpool lane, which is the express lane now. Why are you? If you're not going 80,
yeah, you've got to be on the furthest lane. Please
get over there.
You need to be off freeway. Take the streets.
Please take the streets.
Because at this point, you ain't driving 60 on the streets. I don't know what you doing.
Right, and I try to be on time for work. I really do try to be on time for work. But when you're in my way going 65 and I'm running late move. Like, what Lucas say? Move, bitch. Get out the way. Yeah, that is what I'm slapping every morning because move. Oh my god. And my other thing of driving is like if you're turning, was that right? If you're turning right, you don't need a green light to turn right at a stop. Right? Like, why are you just letting if you're going straight?
No, for real.
Going straight.
Like, I really think that, like, you better be going straight because if you're turning and you waited for this light this whole time, my horn,
you. I am tapping that bumper.
My horn will be on here until you pull this car over and I gotta see you.
Don't cut me off. I'm on my horn from
don't
Oakland to San Francisco. I am on my horn, and that is like a 30-minute drive. I will.
Oh my god!
And I have no.
And I'm not even a horn like beeper for real. But one thing about me, I will like once I get around you, I will be like, break please. Like, and don't let you be doing something stupid. Like, don't let you be looking at your phone. And, oh, that you gonna get ran off the road fucking around me. Cause now we finna play a little game. Like, now that I know that you don't want to take your life seriously, okay, watch this. Like, no, I'm not doing that. No, my main one though, for real. Okay, when you're turning left, right? Say you're about to make a U-turn, boom. Why? This grinds it. This grinds them gears. It grinds the fuck out of them. Okay, you're about to turn left, and you're in the next lane over. Oh my god. And you're in the next lane over, right? Boom. Okay. Why do they go to turn out? Do you want to hit me? If you want to hit me, just say that. Like, why is your car, my car, the demonstration, you trying to make a U-turn? Why do you go like this to make a U-turn? Go out till you don't hit the damn yes, and then you make the U-turn. You don't like now. I'm scared that you just tried to hit me.
I'm gonna be swerving.
Yeah, everybody's swerving. Now, like I don't get that. I do not get that at all.
That just
people can't not drive. That happens so much.
It's not that I have a really heavy foot, like a lead foot. Like I put that pedal to the motherfucking metal. I promise you. I don't know, but I just had to share that ache because that happened on the way here, and I was. And then I'm gonna be an old person because I'm like,
oh yeah,
like my bag ready.
I hate when I look too and I'm like, and then they be old. I be like, God, please protect them on this road because I know there's people worse than me because they would old or not. I'm just why like. There's Instacart. There's so much that you can do nowadays. You don't need. Instacart. You think that they need to be on the road?
No, I think she should stick away at 50.
Oh my god. Our parents would literally not be driving.
Yeah.
They would not be calling us.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the only child. Oh, we're the only child. So we only depend on
at least 70.
65. You should retire.
Right. The first year you retire, license gone. You got nowhere to go.
Stay home.
Oh my god.
Okay, alright. So I just had to just share my aches because, oh Lord, that just ticks me off. Yeah. Alright, well, we got a little laughter and
now we can refocus on this
Let's
topic.
redirect. Let's redirect.
Let's yeet this conversation. Oh my god.
Alright, so we're about to get into our topic of mental health. This is something that we take very seriously because we have been through it. We know people who are going through it, and we're just trying to help other people, one, have awareness to it, take some action, and seek help. So hopefully this is what this episode is for, and hopefully it does that. And we're just someone that needs to probably hear what we have to say because before we start, you are not alone. Again, we've been through it. We're going through it. It's an everyday battle. So,
yeah.
Gabby really has a lot to say about this topic. I'm really excited. So I want her to start, and I just chime in when needed.
Okay. Well, first, I'm kind of gonna explain what Mental Health Awareness Month is for. Mm-hmm. Let's just start there. So it's a time to raise awareness and reduce the stigma of, I guess, having mental health, or because the stigma is actually crazy. Like, you think about it, like you hear mental health and it's like you take it far.
Yeah.
And it could be just having a bad week, a bad day, and stuff like that. So just lessening that stigma, is kind of the point of the month, and to help people who are like dealing with the trauma and the impact that it has on their physical, emotional, and mental well-being in the communities and everything like that. So,
you know, I want to say having social media has really brought awareness to mental health, because this was particularly established in like 1949. So
I have no clue. We had zero clue until social media.
It was just wild because my parents were born in the 60s and the 70s, and so this was around before they came onto earth, and so they don't talk about it like we do today. It is not a topic that they discuss because, like Gabby said, people take it too far, and so they just rather not talk about it because they have no idea about it. They didn't have social media. They didn't have the kind of context or the content out there to knowledge them or to give them knowledge what this is. So when we bring it to them, they're thinking like, oh my god, nothing's wrong with you, stop, you're taking it too far, you're just having a bad day. Like, no, like I'm really going through something, and this is real. So trying to like teach our parents or trying to give them knowledge behind it is kind of hard because they did not talk about this when you know they
see it as like they read an illness, like
it's a disease.
Like you have caught something that you need to get rid of.
Like this is not real. And
it's like, that's not the case. Like, really, I mean, illnesses, you know, I can have a cold. It can go away, go. But when they hear mental illness, they're like, nope, nothing's wrong. Like, it just goes into like a whole panic of like an avoidance that is so negative and seen like, again, the stigma.
I think because I think they think that because they feel like they failed as parents if something is wrong with us or if we're going through something bad. You know, they try to provide the best life for us, and when we tell them something is wrong, they're thinking that they failed as being parents. So I think that's another reason why they like kind of hesitate on the mental health, depression, anxiety type of topic, because they feel like they've done something wrong or they did not do their best as parents. Well, that's absolutely not true. You know, we're here, we're breathing, we're alive, we had a great life, but at the same time, we're still going through things, especially as adults. This didn't really take place when we were in high school or in elementary school. No, but it can.
Yeah, it
definitely can, but just for us personally, it did not. It reached us later on in life, and we would say college. Would you agree? College, so yeah. But before we get into all that experience, I just wanted to let it be known, like, parents see this differently as we do today. So they think it's like an excuse or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, but I do think sometimes, I take the word like depression very seriously. So I don't think I would say if I'm having a bad week, oh, I'm depressed. Like, and I sometimes, now that we have social media and like we talk about the topic so loosely and like more light than our parents did, I feel like people talk about like depression as like a little looser term, and I think it should be a different term being used. I don't know what the term should be, but like I just say like if something's going on, I'm like, oh, I'm having a bad mental week, or like, oh, I'm having a bad mental day, instead of like, I'm going through depression right now. Like, and because I don't know, like, I don't really think I am. Like, I've been through a depressive episode.
Of course.
And I don't think I've been back to that. So that's why I don't think that any of the times that I've been low have been depression. Because I've never reached that point ever again.
That's good. That means like you're just working on yourself, you know, let yourself get to that point. And if you do, you kind of know how to like pull yourself out, or you kind of know what resources you need to get you out of the episode. But I just simply say, like, I'm just not having a great day right now. Like, it's my ass like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm just not having a great day. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and say I'm depressed, even though like I am. I'm not gonna like put my depression on somebody else. I'll just simply say I'm not having a great day, you know? So what is mental health? Mental health comes in different forms like depression, anxiety, mood disorders, psychotic disorders such as like schizophrenia, stuff like that. Like we said, we touched on being depressed, we touched on having really bad anxiety. I never had like a mood disorder or like a schizophrenia episode, but it's out there. People have those. There's treatment for it. There's help out there. But as far as us and our personal experiences, I guess I can low-key kind of speak for Gabby that we've just been depressed and have really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just as far as it goes, and just like having bad days. But everybody has bad days. So.
Right.
When did it start for you exactly?
I think I've always been really paranoid.
Really?
From like young. Not like when I was thinking about it, I was like, I've always been paranoid. Like I've always been like very like, what's over there? Like just curious. I just need to know before I get myself into a situation. Like I have really bad like pits in my stomach when I feel like something's not good. Right. And it's like strong. It's like I have to go. Yeah. I'm sorry, but my chest and everything inside is tightening up and I feel like I cannot breathe anymore. So like I think I've had bad like paranoia or like anxiety for years, but I think it started getting bad, I would say around COVID or worse. I feel like it's been the worst recently. Just like dealing with the whole like unknown. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, what? I don't even know what's happening next. Like, what is next? And that question is just brings like anxiety or like stress or whatever. So it's like that is what I've recently dealt with. But I feel like I've always been pretty on edge. Like something pop around the corner, don't do that. I think like the what next question is kind of for everybody, because you kind of like, you know, you want to do so much in life, you don't want to have any regrets, you want to leave like a legacy behind for your kids or whenever you have kids or whatever. So it's like you gotta try to like do the best that you can to try to make that happen, because you just don't want to leave nothing behind, whether for the world to see or even for your kids. The what next question is kind of like hard and like daunting, because you're just like, I gotta do it, but I gotta make it work, you know. I don't know. Depression, when did that start for you? You don't have to like, you know, go all into it if you don't want. You can just keep it surface level, but when did depression start for you? It started in college. It started in my freshman year of college. It kind of only lasted my freshman year of college. I think I was just so, again, anxious and like confused at the time that I just didn't know how to even deal with / is this even normal? Right. Like, and I'm sure, I mean, I know it definitely was normal. People go through transition phases like that all the time, and like that transition phase, even though it wasn't like me moving across the country and starting all the way fresh, it was still like a weird change of, all my friends are gone, I'm still here, I'm playing basketball, like different country, differently. Yeah, so it's just, it was weird. It was just like, what do I do? Where do I fit in? Whatever. So yeah, I started my freshman year of college. I just started feeling like really alone. First, I think that was the first thing I started to feel like. I felt like I wasn't really, I wouldn't even say fitting in. I just didn't feel like I was myself. Yeah. Because if I'm myself, then I feel like I fit in with a lot of people. Right. But I didn't feel like I was myself, which made it weird because I'm fighting, why am I not being myself? Right. But then at the same time I'm fighting, you can't be yourself. Like something in there was like a battle of whatever. So I started there, and then I obviously we're only children, so our coping skill, at least for me, is isolation. Like easy. I could just go over here and be fine because I'm used to it. So that was kind of what I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to just spend a lot of time alone. And that's not good. When you're trying to get out of something, you want to probably be around more people than be by yourself. So for me, depression looked like I was just in a really dark room and I can't see anything. And then I just hear people like, oh, you want to come out? Oh, you want to do this? Oh, you want to do that? Like, and I'm hearing people like, oh, like, you know, life's not that bad, or you're okay, or da da da. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I get it. I hear you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but all I see right now is the only light I can see is that exit sign. Right. So I don't know, like, I'm hearing you. I don't know where you're coming from. I'm in a dark room, but laser focused. But all I see is that exit sign. And every day I just feel myself getting closer and closer. And it was like, dragging. Like, it was like being pulled towards the sign. Like, I'm trying to stop it. I'm being like dragged towards it.
Right.
And then finally, I think I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to tap out. And people would ask me like, oh, how are you doing? You want me to cry, right? Like you want me to cry.
Bust out crying.
Yeah, so instantly, you know, tears would come. I just avoided everyone. So like, I would never get that question.
Yeah.
And then I think I finally got that question and I was like bawling. And I was like, okay, I got, you know, God help, whatever. I feel like finally the lights like turned on and I was able to like see all the doors around me and like all like the people, the help that I could have got, all of that. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, there's other ways to like, I guess, dig yourself out of that. But at that time, I only saw one thing.
Yeah. But did you learn from that situation? Did you learn like how to better, not cope, but better?
Just like manage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did because, I mean, obviously I've never went back because of like, I think how scary it was. But I think how I managed it was removing any of the triggers that I had. Once I removed that, and it might have been people, it might have been places, it might have been just the things that I was doing on a day-to-day, removing that stuff helped a lot. And I don't think I've brought any of those things back.
That's good.
And I think that was a big like transition or like reason why I don't go that far, just because I don't know, like, okay, I'm going through something, sure, but like I know how to fix it myself.
Right.
Like, I just can't think like the worst all the time.
Yeah. I think anxiety started for me around COVID. I was pregnant. We had I had a mask on, obviously 24/7. So going into stores, like I just felt like stuff was hovering over me,
like,
and I just like couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I have to get out the store. Like being like 6 months pregnant with a mask on, I already can't breathe as it is, and it's summer and it's hot outside. Like it was just too much was over me. So I just felt like that was when anxiety started for me, and that's when I realized, oh my god, this is anxiety. This is what people feel like. It's like a claustrophobic type of feel, like you can't move or get out or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's when anxiety started for me.
How did your depressive story start, or your depression story?
So mine's kind of weird because I'm in my depressive stage era now. But I wasn't before, and I can tell you when it came back for now. So let's like rewind back to before, when I was in college. Like I said, I just did not want to go to school my last year, and I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what I was dealing with. Again, this is like mental health is still a new topic for our generation and for the generation underneath us, because this was never really talked about. We didn't have social media. Social media is like came around when we were in high school, really. So this is still kind of new to everybody, and that was like 12, 13 years ago. So not knowing what it was, and then nobody really talked about when social media first came out, but now that everybody has these big platforms to speak about it, this is when we're starting to use our social media platform to raise awareness to the situation. So it's still kind of new for us, even though it's been around, just nobody really talked about it. So when I was going through it, I really didn't know that was depression until I got older and moved on with my life. And I was like, oh my God, that was depression. I didn't even know it, which was my last year of college. I just didn't want to go to class. I just wanted to be done. I was so tired of fighting this battle with college just to get a piece of paper and not even use it.
No thanks.
You know? So I was over it, and once I graduated, I was so happy. I left Vegas, and not even saying Vegas is what really made me depressed. I just didn't like what I was out there for. So when I left and came back home, I was happy. I was great. So I didn't really have any type of like resource to use. I just did what I had to do, put myself in the work, and got myself out of there as quickly as possible. I was not doing another year, so I didn't really use any resources to, you know, like you said, you found some resources. I didn't really find any because mine was just finishing what I had to do and get up out of there.
Right.
Fast forward to today, mine's kind of came after like postpartum depression. So it like gradually went into depression. And that has nothing to do with my child, of course not. But it just has me feeling like, what's next? Am I doing enough? All these type of questions that I'm constantly asking myself every day is kind of like, makes me anxious, I guess, because I need to know. Like, I need to know, like,
not just for you, but for your kid.
Exactly. And I just feel like when everybody has their opinions and their voices, it's kind of like, please be quiet so I can hear myself think on what to do.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of what I'm going through right now. So I don't have an end to the story because it's ongoing. It's occurring at the moment. But I think just like putting myself into work is kind of how I kind of like deal with it. And I know you're not supposed to. There's outlets and we'll get to that. But that's kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm just always on the go. Like, I'm just never at home. I just never take time to just do like self-care or like sit down and do for myself. I'm just always going or always working or always trying to put myself into something so I can just kind of like forget about it. And that's kind of like not what you want to do. I just want to, you need to deal with it head on and get a hold of it before something really bad ends up like happening, or it just gets out of control and you cannot have a handle on it. Like it's just gonna go even worse.
With some stats on depression, as far as like, this is probably in 2000, like 22, 21-ish, so they've probably
updated
changed or something. But 11.5% of the youth suffer from depression, so that's like 2.7 million people, and that's just youth from like 11 to 18. 10 to 18, something like that. And then more than 264 million people suffer from depression, and that is between 18 and 25, 13.8 people. And women are twice more likely to deal with depression than men are.
That's why?
I don't know.
That's so why we deal with so much already. We deal with so much. I say that men don't, but it's like,
I just don't think that they, like, I think most times we feel our feelings first, then we find a way to deal with it. I think it's the opposite for men. They just like push it and then they'll be like,
Right. But men should definitely talk about their feelings more. Definitely talk about their feelings.
We're definitely gonna have a topic about that too.
And they should go like to therapy and stuff like that.
Right,
they
it's healthy and it's normal.
They see therapy as like
something's wrong.
Like our parents, like something's wrong. Like, men don't do that, you know. But they need to. Especially if you're in a relationship and trying to get yourself healthy, you need to do that.
Shout out to the men who go to therapy. And talk about their feelings. Shout out to y'all. And if you don't, hopefully you work on yourself. Hopefully you work on yourself, and shout out to you too.
We see you. So during like the COVID era of 2020 and 2021 school year, more than 60% of college students met the criteria for at least one mental health problem, again being anxiety, depression, mood disorder, which was according to the Healthy Minds of the American Psychological Association. So college students go through a lot. Again, this is your future that you're writing on. You know, you're going to these classes to better your future. Everybody comes from a different household, a different background. So trying to navigate something new, especially if you're going to be like the first college student and you don't have nobody to talk to your experience about. You can't talk to your friends, they're going to school with you. So,
we all going through it.
So trying to navigate that, and some people work jobs in college because they don't support themselves.
Then it's like the pressure of like wanting good grades to be like honors or whatever, like finishing in about 3 or whatever years.
3 or 4 years.
That's a lot.
Like 60% of college students. That is a very high number. That's more than half. Risk of postpartum depression is highest among first-time mothers, mothers younger than 25, and mothers of twins. Do you know I am 2 out of those 3 things? I was a mother before 25, and I was obviously a first-time mother. So those three hold a very high percentage of people who end up having depression after they have their kids. Again, postpartum depression is kind of just like separating from your child. You know, you're carrying your child for 9 months, 10 months, and then one day the child is born, right, and you're like, oh my God, you kind of feel like something is missing. So that graduates into depression. And that is, actually I have 3 different type of races that this was brought to me by ajog.org. White was up by 60% between 2020 and 2021 was up by 60%. Hispanics by 110%, and then,
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely. And African Americans up by 140%.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
That's so high. That's
I think it's
crazy.
Even though we are like Black females, I always think it's important to shine light on other demographics or other races, because they do go through things, you know, right. Even though some races like to portray that they're better than us or whatever, that doesn't take away that they also go through things,
life things,
because we're all going through this life. So to show you or to give you some type of example of 3 different races or demographics going through the same thing but have higher percentage rates is because we deal with more than another demographic does. So up by 140% is wild, which means it's normal. So talk about it. Get a handle on it. So now we're going to go into our self-care tips. We're just going to give you a little bit of some self-care that you can do to hopefully make yourself feel better while you're in the process of going through this, because this is not an overnight thing that's just going to come and just go the next day. No, this takes work, dedication, and effort. So while you're working on yourself, here are some things that you can do for yourself in the meantime, in between time, to make yourself feel better in the process, to let you know that you are going to be okay, you are getting somewhere. It just takes time. So again, what are your self-care tips that you have?
My main 3 are journaling, taking myself on dates, which Lauren does not do.
I don't find it weird. I just cannot sit at a table with myself.
Why? I'm your only child. Like, I do not get that.
Me neither, because I don't know if I feel like I'm gonna be like looked at as like a loser. I don't know. Like, what? I can never just sit at a table with myself and eat dinner. I have to try
like a coffee shop.
I think my anxiety is gonna go through the roof. Like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. What? Stop. Like, that's how I feel. Maybe I should start a coffee
just
shop.
start like not a Starbucks, but like a small little local coffee shop. And then my 3rd one is listening to podcasts or music. Actually, I have 4 and going to church. So, yeah, those are my 4.
Yeah. My self-care tips are hair, like a hair maintenance day, hair or nail maintenance day, or something that is just getting my mind off something. So just something for me, something that's making my appearance look better. Because you ever seen that meme that said, "Oh, she's not depressed, her hair just not done."
Yeah, no, for real.
That is me. That is so me. Like, I cannot not have my hair done, because then I'm starting to worse. Oh, I look ugly. Like, it's just gonna go from I am not cute, I look ugly, and then something my hair done. I'm like, all right, we outside.
Never mind. You're a bad bitch.
Exactly that. Baths, where it's just like I'm an essential bath. So like oils, candles, books, no phone, just literally me time. Like, I need to focus on me. Another one is kind of piggyback off what Gabby says, like a journal. I don't particularly have a journal. I just have like a calendar book or like a agenda book. So I kind of write that every day. Like, I write like a Bible verse. I do 10 things I'm grateful for. And then I just do my mood, so how I'm feeling that day, and just show gratitude, because as easy it is for us to sit here and complain about everything that's going wrong, it's just as easy to write, what are you grateful for?
Right.
It can be simple as for waking up, but don't let that be your everyday thing, because
you gotta switch it up.
Yeah, I have a job to go to, I have a car, I have a roof over my head, I'm grateful God is leading me to the right direction. Just something simple like that. And YouTube. And really kind of TikTok too.
Yeah.
TikTok, I will be on there for 3
rabbit
hours.
Holes, down rabbit hole.
Yes. TikTok, I just love TikTok. So those 4 are just kind of like my self-care tips and how to deal with this. That's what I'm doing to deal with this. I've tried therapy. Therapy is low-key expensive.
Very.
It's really expensive. And to pay $150 every week. But I did it.
Right.
So I can't say that I'm not gonna do it just because of the money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to invest in myself to make a better self for my child and I.
Right.
So I did it, and I did it twice. I did it one time and I stopped, and another time and I stopped, and I just felt like maybe that's not for me. And therapy is not for everybody. Therapy is not for everybody. Like Gabby said, journaling or talking to different people, that's kind of like her outlet, and you just heard mine. So therapy is not for everybody. So don't let anybody tell you the only way to get through this is going to go to therapy. No, there's other ways. People exercise.
Right.
People go on runs. Like, there's so many. You just have to figure out what works for you. And don't let anybody tell you that what you're doing for yourself is stupid or
like that's
ridiculous.
Not the way that you're gonna heal or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
Everyone's different.
Exactly.
What may work for one person might not work for you, and vice versa. So
exactly. So we hope that we've done our due diligence by speaking on this topic. We kind of tried to cover areas that could pertain to everybody, or at least a mass majority of people. So hopefully we did good in that area. But please know that mental health is real. And don't let anybody try to downplay you and your feelings, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, and just know like what you're going through in this moment, it is normal, and you're not alone. You're not the only person going through it. Reach for some outlets. Don't think that you have to go through this by yourself. And yeah, you know,
it's only temporary. It's not gonna last.
It's
but if you put in the work, you get out what you put in. So put in the work, and you're gonna see some improvement. It's going to be okay. Yeah. So I can breathe. Right. Relax. Let's try to cut up the tension with some fun things. The shit you be wrestling with.
No, y'all.
Tussling with.
Lauren gonna have to do these cards. We already said it because I'm not doing the game.
And friendship cards.
Watch you put them on. So we should
get a nail.
Okay.
Pick a card. Any card.
One. No. No. That has nothing to do with anything.
Why?
5.
No, that's so sentimental. Yeah, okay, actually no. Maybe not. It don't have to be. Alright, let's get into these cards. I love these things. You know what? Y'all should get into those and give it your best friends and play with them, because this is funny, okay?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, my card is, how many people do you think I've slept with? My parents are watching.
20. Just kidding.
You're like, what? What is it?
I think you're the Virgin Mary.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm saving myself for my future husband.
Period. You better speak on that. Manifest him.
Shout out to my Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me on this celibacy journey.
Lord Jesus Christ. Can I answer that question?
What? You just did. Okay. It's the first reason. Go ahead, Lord. What do you think?
3.
Yep.
All right.
Your turn. Your turn.
What will you always remember?
What will I always remember?
Yeah.
I always remember when we was at that abandoned house. everybody by their ankles, wrists, hair, it did not matter to yank everybody out this party before it went down.
Should we talk about the party now? Since we brought it up? We don't have to.
How much time do we have left? Hold on. Before we... Okay, we have 10 minutes.
Okay, it's on this now. But yes, that party, top 10. Top 2, not even 2.
Yeah, because the way we have to get into that party, so like we gotta start from the beginning of the night to we was bouncing over the Skyline Hills. So we gotta talk about all that. So yeah, that would be another episode, another story time.
You know what I was gonna say?
What?
For like my what's that? That's what player's house.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Left us there for dead.
Literally for dead. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm triggered. I'm traumatized. Anxiety through the roof because he was a sick individual for that.
And walking home at 6 a.m.
was even crazier.
Uber was not around, so please don't come for us.
Why y'all didn't call y'all cheat? No. Not cheat.
Oh, I think it was around. I think it was like brand new. I think it was like brand new. Yeah. So we took it to a party, but it was still brand new.
And at 6 a.m., you were not thinking. The only thing I'm thinking about is getting up out of where I was at.
Yeah, we were only like 5 minutes away walking distance, so it was fine. But yeah, that was a good time. That was a time. We had a time.
Yeah, in this man's house by ourselves.
Should have stole some pair of shoes.
Some
shit. He was in the NBA.
I could leak this shit to TMZ.
Could show this shit for like $1,300 in that time. You was rich.
Literally.
I'm just kidding. That was like. Okay. So the I am.
Mine is I have enough, I do enough, and I am enough.
I love that.
Period.
Because we think so little.
Yeah.
That we have so little, but we have enough.
A lot, yeah.
You're right. We have a lot.
A lot and enough. We have more than enough.
Exactly. Mine says, breathe, sis. This is just a chapter, not your whole story.
Period. That's that one right there.
I love that.
That's really the one.
I love that quote. That is so true.
Like, it's okay.
Everything is just a chapter of our lives.
This is not the full story.
When we gone up out of here, that's the story.
Yeah. Just think about how many chapters we already had and thought that was the full story already.
Exactly.
And it was just a little tiny piece.
Tiny piece. Doesn't matter no more.
Literally.
That's crazy.
That was a good one.
I love that quote. They did that one on that. So before we wrap up our episode for today, we just want to say, reach out to somebody if you're not feeling well. There's always someone out there to talk to. It doesn't have to be your parents, doesn't have to be your family, doesn't have to be your friends. Just find what works for you. Don't be afraid. We hope that this episode kind of hit the mark with what we were trying to do, which is bring awareness to mental health. Because it's real, it's still new. We don't have all the answers. We're not professionals. We're not trying to be. We're just speaking on our experiences and what helped us. And hopefully we can help people out there or younger young women and men to kind of advocate for themselves.
Yeah.
You want to add anything to that?
No, you pretty much summed it up.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I hope you guys have a great week, and you guys can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all on the same name. We're Not Even That Funny Pod. And I hope to see y'all there.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Love ya.